Abortion will effectively be banned in Iowa. That decision came this morning from the Iowa Supreme Court in a split ruling upholding new abortion restrictions.
It bans most abortions once cardiac activity is detected, typically around 6 weeks of pregnancy. That's before even many women realize they're pregnant. But the ruling came with powerful dissent. Keegan Turbo with our sister station in Cedar Rapids has reaction on the ruling, which came with powerful dissent.
The ruling is largely based on Iowa's past, arguing that there's no constitutional protections for abortion and that it doesn't have a deep-rooted history in the state. But in a strongly worded dissent, one justice highlights that state history was written and built by men, long before women could even vote. In just weeks, abortion will nearly be banned in Iowa. The Iowa Supreme Court ruled 4-3 to uphold the law Governor Reynolds and Republicans passed during a special session last summer. It bans abortions once cardiac activity is detected, typically around 6 weeks, and before most women know they're pregnant. Justice Matthew McDermott, writing Iowa's new restrictions, are, quote, rationally related to the state's legitimate interests in protecting unborn life, adding the legislature generally maintains the authority to regulate it, unquote. But in a strongly worded dissent, Justice Susan Christensen questioned that argument. Writing Iowa's constitutional history was written and built without women, arguing the ruling ignores how far women's rights have come since the Civil War era. She also criticized the difficulty for women to get exemptions for rape or incest or to save their own life, writing, quote, frankly, in many of these situations, they serve as another example of how this statute prioritizes the unborn over the living, placing pregnant women in grave harm in the process. The groups that sued to block the law called today's ruling an expansion of government in the doctor's office.
The courts and politicians have no place in our exam rooms, no place in our bedrooms or around our kitchen tables or wherever we make personal family decisions.
But groups against abortion celebrated the ruling as a protection for unborn life.
When you hear all these weeks we're talking about now, 6 weeks, 15 weeks, they're still human beings. We all once were that human being, and somehow some people have forgotten that.
It'll take 3 weeks for the new abortion restrictions to become law. That means Iowa's current 20-week abortion ban is still the law for now. But the legal challenges to the law are still ongoing, even as it can now be enforced. In Dubuque, I'm Keegan Turnbow.